When we look at elements of a complete sentence, we look at three main elements: a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. Each element is essential to create a complete sentence, otherwise known as an independent clause or an IC. And while a sentence doesn't necessarily need to be long in order to be complete, after all, you really only need a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. Two-word sentences, like hope emerged, are few and far between. We wouldn't get very far with nouns, pronouns, and verbs alone. Adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions add flavor and provide context or background to a sentence. Hope emerged slowly on a new day. Even with all of these pieces and parts, though, at the heart of the sentence lies a main subject, a main verb, and a complete thought. Hope emerged. At the heart of the sentence lies a single independent clause. Remember those four different sentence structure types: your simple, compound, complex, and compound complex? Let's look at the most basic, a simple sentence. More and more you'll notice I move away from the term complete sentence and start using the term independent clause almost exclusively. When we start breaking down each sentence type, we'll discover how the multiple clauses and phrases that make up or constitute each sentence structure work together to create a complete simple sentence, a complete compound sentence, a complete complex sentence, or a complete compound complex sentence. A simple sentence consists of a single independent clause or IC. Adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions, prepositional phrases, don't change the fact that a single main subject, a single main verb, and a single complete thought lie front and center in an independent clause. When we looked at the essential elements of a complete sentence, I said that at the very least you need to be able to identify the main subject, the main verb, and the complete thought of any sentence presented to you. This ability will help you to identify independent clauses in any complete sentence presented to you, because remember, you need at least one independent clause with a subject, a verb, and a complete thought to create a complete sentence of any kind. We need to start getting in the habit of bracketing our ICs. Realize simple sentences only consist of ICs, so the practice sentences we'll look at will all be in brackets from beginning to end. This may all seem redundant now, but trust me, when we start diving deeper into our other types of phrases and clauses to form other sentence structures, you will need to know what or which part of the sentence to bracket to help you identify the kind of sentence you're dealing with. Take Nick sits, for example. We have one main subject, one main verb, and one complete thought. In brackets, we have Nick sits, because that is the entire independent clause. If we add our flair, changing the sentence to Nick sits alone in his room, it doesn't matter that we added an adverb or a prepositional phrase. We still have one independent clause, creating a simple sentence. However, what is in our brackets does change. Nick sits alone in his room all goes into brackets because all of the information is now a part of the independent clause. Having multiple subjects or multiple verbs does not change the fact that you have a main subject, a main verb, and a complete thought either. The two criminals, Bonnie and Clyde, burst suddenly from the bank, hopped into the getaway car, and sped from the scene in a cloud of dust. From the to dust, you have one independent clause forming a simple sentence in brackets. Appreciate, though, the amount of adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, nouns, and conjunctions, another part of speech, getting to those later, used to paint the picture of Bonnie and Clyde fleeing a crime scene. 8 adjectives, 1 adverb, 5 prepositions, 7 nouns including the subjects Bonnie and Clyde, 5 excluding. Remember, your objects of the prepositions are nouns with a different function in the sentence, with 2 conjunctions, both and, linking everything together. If we didn't have all this added information, we are left with Bonnie and Clyde burst, hopped, and sped, an altogether bland and meaningless sentence that does little in the way of actually communicating with a reader or even interesting a reader. Remember, too, that your subject does not always need to be one word. An entire phrase, your gerund or noun phrases, can also act as the subject of your independent clause. Studying for tests, cleaning the bathroom, waking up early on the weekends. All noun phrases, all a single subject. So in an IC, A noun phrase might look like, studying for tests is my least favorite chore. And still, from studying to chore, we have one independent clause, one simple sentence in brackets. A final arrangement of the simple sentence you may run into presents the main verb first, followed by the main subject, all while maintaining a complete thought. Here is the test. If we were to arrange the same sentence subject first, its meaning remains the same. The test is here. Whether you have subject-verb or verb-subject, you've not lost your complete thought. Admittedly, the verb plus subject arrangement can be a bit jarring and difficult to identify, especially when you have prepositions and other parts of speech that mask the order of the sentence. Take, near the edge of the table, precariously sat my laptop. You've not changed the fact that you have written a single independent clause. From here to test and from near to laptop, you are bracketing simple sentences. All these arrangements of simple sentences demonstrate that simple does not necessarily mean boring. All a simple sentence means is one independent clause. You can have a lot of fun with one independent clause depending on how creative you get, which brings me to my last topic for this video, sentence imitation. Oscar Wilde once said, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I end the quote at flattery because the bit that follows really doesn't fit with my agenda, and imitation is one of the best ways to make your practice permanent. Practice like garbage, perform like garbage. So what does sentence imitation mean? Sentence imitation takes well-written, grammatically correct sentences and has you mimic or imitate the sentence's arrangement in your own original composition. In layman's terms or basic terms, you are given both a visual breakdown of the sentence arrangement and a sample sentence corresponding to the visual breakdown of the sentence that you then follow to create your own original sentence. For example, if I am given the visual, adjective plus subject plus verb plus prepositional phrase plus verb plus prepositional phrase plus verb plus prepositional phrase, this breaks down the recipe my sentence must follow. A sample sentence is also provided as reference. Lonely dogs jump onto their owner's bed, sprawl over their owner's blankets, and sigh out their sadness. Make sure you take advantage of creative opportunities like prepositional phrases that purposefully afford you a tad more freedom. While sentence imitation may seem restrictive, imitation helps to familiarize you with various sentence arrangements, and later it will help familiarize us with different sentence structure types. Now I would like you to take the time to practice sentence imitation with the following 7 examples, all simple sentences, which means each of your sentences should be bracketed as well. Practice number 1, subject plus verb, Roger listened. Practice number 2, subject plus verb plus prepositional phrase, Melanie and Roger waited for their scheduled appointment. Practice number 3, adjective plus subject plus verb plus prepositional phrase plus verb plus prepositional phrase plus verb plus prepositional phrase. Lonely dogs jump onto their owner's bed, sprawl over their owner's blankets, and sigh out their sadness. Practice number 4, prepositional phrase plus verb plus adjective plus subject. At the foot of the bed lay my cat. Practice number 5, noun phrase plus linking verb plus adjective plus linking verb, state of being. Cleaning the bathroom is such a chore. Practice number 6, adjective plus subject plus verb plus adverb plus prepositional phrase. The parrot chirped excitedly above his cage. Practice number 7, adjective plus subject plus verb plus prepositional phrase. Colorful insects and amphibians warn of their poisonous capabilities. To make sure your simple sentence is a complete sentence with at least one fully functional independent clause, remember to double check that you have a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. You don't want to lose sight of those 3 essential elements.